Hi everyone, this is Heather Lottinen from the Flourish.Academy, and before I get into today's topic, which is model releases when you are photographing a public event, let me just say that I recognize I am doing this episode on my personal page and not my business page, and that is because I currently do not appreciate the way that Facebook interacts with live video on the business page. Okay, so yesterday inside of Elevate, which is our group for photographers who want to grow their businesses, I was talking with my friend Valerie about photographing Little League games. So you go to your child's, that it could be a soccer game, it could be a Little League game, any type of public event, and you photograph it. What are the legalities around model releases if you are to put those images online? And let me first start by saying, I am not a lawyer and I should not substitute for legal advice. So as way of a disclaimer, I recommend you check out the Law Talk. It's my friend Rachel Brenke. She has contracts, she's a lawyer and she's a photographer, and she has all of these things covered. So definitely check that out. I am simply going to share my approach, which should not be substituted for legal advice. You go to an event like this. Now, there's also the question of whether or not you're being paid. If you are a mom in the stands and you're photographing your kid and the other kids and you post a few of these photos online, I think it's probably safe to do that. But you always run into this chance that someone is very private and does not want their child posted online. Okay, that's always a potential possibility. How would you deal? I mean, I guess the worst case scenario is you post something and a parent contacts you and says, I don't want my kids anywhere on the internet. Please remove those photos as quickly as possible. I think you would probably say, okay, I'm so sorry, and you would remove the photos. If you are contracted to photograph a Little League game, and this could be a couple different ways, meaning you are being paid to do it, and or maybe there's another parent or the person that manages the team that is asking you to photograph it, and you are putting these photos online in a gallery, I would ask the team manager or the person hiring you if the parents signed a model release when they signed up for Little League or soccer or whatever it is. I know that when my children have been involved in sports or activities like at church, there's always this general model release that there could be photographs taken and your kids could appear on the website or online. And if you would like that not to happen, please check this box. Like, I believe a lot of sports teams do this with children these days. Can you let me know in the comments? Okay, I have a couple of questions. Number one, are your kids in sports? Have you noticed this? That they're signing a general model release like for the whole season? And or have you ever been in a situation where there's been a photographer at one of these games taking photos and your kid's picture appears online and you're not thrilled about it? I mean, there are a lot of different angles to play here. And my friend Valerie was asking, what's the best approach? Well, I don't know that there's a best approach. There's just trying to figure out what the goal is and whether or not you've been contracted or paid to photograph this event. If you have been asked to photograph the event for like the yearbook or something of that nature, then I would have to assume that the organization, okay, never assume, always verify that the organization has asked the parents to sign something that their child will be in this, and their likeness will be in this something they produce. Okay, Jessica is saying we do this for our skating club. They sign an umbrella waiver that covers any photography for each season. I think that's really smart, and I think that everyone should be doing that, and that would also cover us as photographers if we photograph these events. Okay, but again, if you're a mom with a camera and you're just photographing, I mean, I would do that. I wouldn't overthink that. I would do it, and if something happens, I would be obviously very respectful. If you're being paid, then I would talk to the manager about what that looks like and if they've signed a release. If you're not being paid, but they are allowing you to put these photos in a gallery for people to purchase, then I would also consider asking for a release. Would I go to each kid and each parent with like a clipboard with all these releases asking them to sign? No, there's no way I would do that. That just seems like way overkill. But I would proceed with caution because some people, like I have some friends that just absolutely do not want their kids' faces on the internet in any way, shape, or form. And you obviously have to respect that. So the thing is, with anything like this, and we're always talking in Elevate about marketing and growing our businesses and meeting more people and being at events, is like, I want to do everything as strategically as possible. I want to research, I want to make wise decisions, but I also believe in taking imperfect action, meaning sometimes you have to do things, kind of see what happens, and then figure it out. Now, I'm not suggesting that you break any laws or you do something really stupid. It's just, I told Valerie yesterday, I said, the truth is, you could complicate this as much as you'd like, or you could just keep it really simple. And the truth is, Heather equals simple. I have built 2 very successful businesses by taking a ton of imperfect action, which means I just sprint. I have an idea. I think, oh my goodness, this sounds great. I just go and do it, and I deal with those consequences. Okay, it sounds like I'm saying just do things. All right, use your brain, be strategic. I absolutely think things through, but I don't allow myself to overthink them to the point of talking myself out of something, which is traditionally what I have seen photographers do, is they're like, well, I don't know how to do this, and I'm not sure what the right way is, so... And then they overthink, and then they take no action. So I am about taking fast action, imperfect action, strategically, and thinking it through, not recklessly. I guess that's what I'm saying, is there's this line between taking reckless action and overthinking and then talking yourself out of something. There's got to be somewhere in the middle where it's like, I know as much as I can know at this point, or I need to know, so I'm going to take the action fully understanding that there's so much I may not recognize could happen. I'm going to do it anyway, and then I will learn some lessons. Some of those lessons have been extremely painful. Some of them have been just like, oh, okay, I didn't realize that could happen, and then you move on. Okay, Ronnie, I see you. I should have said we have not had to... Oh, okay, so Ronnie's kids are in hockey, and she does not think that they've had to sign anything, which is surprising, considering your kids are in like really high level hockey. I would bring this up. I would bring this up with a coach or the manager about having them sign something, the parents sign something at the beginning of the season that just covers the whole season. Like, your kid may be photographed, right? And if you're not okay with that, let us know so that we can make a note of it and pass that off to the photographer. Oh, okay. You didn't have to sign anything individually. You just photographed your son's team for the website, and I believe it was part of the contract when we signed up for the team. Okay. Yeah, if you're the photographer, I mean, I would for sure be covering my bases, no pun intended, and make sure I'm protected. But I also think we're overthinking this to the point of like, well, but really, what's the worst case scenario? The worst case scenario, I've already said, is that a parent is upset that their kid's photo is online without their permission. They ask you to take it down, you take it down, and then, oops, sorry, I'm sorry, truly, and that's the end of it. And then you'll be more cautious next time. So I'd love to get your opinion on this. I would love to know, especially if you're watching this on YouTube. I know that we have a very diverse audience in YouTube with a lot of different experiences. I wonder if you've run into anything, because there's so many scenarios that I just don't know about, and I wouldn't know about without having the experience of gone through it. So I hope that you found this useful. I'll see you in the next video.